I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, January the 2nd, brought to you entirely by DV Auction. If you haven't got your spring production sale booked yet, it's time to get that done. We're starting to get the calendar filled up right now, and you want to make sure that you get yours in and get your video work done, and make sure that you've got a representative to be at your ranch or sale facility to have your production sale here, and it's not too soon by any means to get that set up. But we're kicking 2020 off here on a springboard, guys, and just kind of like we thought. We're coming in, these buyers are hungry. Your order buyers are about starved out. They need some commission. They're wanting to get some cattle bought. We shook a little bit of pen space loose here because we haven't had any feeder cattle really moving for the last 10 days or so. And that's really what we needed more than anything, was just to shake some cattle loose. Your plants were still running pretty much, so we were selling fat cattle, and now we've got a few pens available here for some feeders, and the guys want to get right in on them, and fairly aggressive, as we saw some sales on Tuesday and then some sales on New Year's Day also. But got kind of a short feeder flash here for you to start out 2020, but we'll get back to some full-fledged business here before long. We're excited that President Trump's going to be signing the Phase 1 China deal here within a couple of weeks, and we're going to get these trade deals straightened out, and everything is looking positive. But let's look at the board for Tuesday. Of course, it was closed for New Year's Day, but this is the board for Tuesday. That's the last close we have available. December live cattle futures up 60 cents at 124.70. February down 50 at 125.92. January feeder cattle down a dime at 145.32, and March down 27 cents at 144.22. Your fat cattle trade has not been established as of yet. We've had another holiday week here. We had people still gone for Christmas and then getting ready for New Year's, and just not a lot going out there. Did hear some rumors out there on Tuesday of some 196 bids by the regionals. And so we're thinking that we're going to be at least steady and probably gain another buck or two, and by the looks of the board we really need to. So we're looking to gain more ground. Guys, dig your heels in, and that's the only way you're going to get more money for your cattle, is if you ask more for them in the negotiated trade. Some sales that are coming up Friday at 4 State Stockyards there at Exeter, Missouri. 2,000 head on offer for a Friday sale there in Exeter, and they've got some really nice cattle lined up, featuring 800 head of red Angus sired cattle, and they'll be selling at 11:30. You can view and bid on that sale at dvauction.com, and that's your 4 State sale there in Exeter, Missouri. But here on Thursday, Joplin Regional Stockyards has got a big wean back special set up, and you can also view that sale right there on dvauction.com, and click on Joplin Regional Stockyards. They'll start real early. For sure by 8 o'clock they'll be going on some of these wean back cattle. They won't have a lot of odds. So today here, January the 2nd, on Thursday, about 7,000 head they thought for the wean back special, and that will get your feeder cattle sales going for Joplin, and then they'll be back on a full slate of schedule here as we get into next week. But got a pretty darn good run for as anybody's standards there, 7,000 head if they get that many in there. But give you a few quotes and look at the market, what we saw for New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. Real-time index on DV Auction is 147.03. So we've got it up there with your cash now at a premium to your nearby feeder cattle futures. But you look at your latest available CME cash feeder cattle index, which it's always running behind, just not any quotes in there because it's a 7-day moving average, and we didn't have sales there for for nearly 7 days. So we were just down to hardly any quotes, but it's at 141.81. But that's for December 30th. So if we get one more day going, then they'll pick up some of those New Year's Eve sales, and then pick up the New Year's Day sales, and it'll be back up there, kind of where your RTI is sitting right now. But on New Year's Eve, had a good sale at Rezac Livestock Commission there in St. Mary's, Kansas. And I tell you what, Denny and them had a heck of a sale there. A lot of big strings of cattle. Look at this. I pulled here from Cattle Market Central. These are load lots and bigger of steers that they had at Rezac Livestock Commission there in St. Mary's. Including in there is the last one, 124 head of 859-pound steers. Bring 151. That's an impressive quote. They had a good sale at my old stomping grounds there in St. Joe Stockyards for New Year's Day. New Year's Day, or the first sale after the new year, was always one of the best sales. And the receipts weren't quite as big as what a lot of times they are, but 2,300 head there at St. Joe Stockyards, and had a booming sale. That's when some of your best consignments of cattle start coming, some of your reputation deals. The cattle that are going to be moving here for the next couple of months are mostly going to be in the breadbasket of the country here, right in the Midwest. You're not going to see a lot of more cattle moving, and not nearly as many cattle in the Southwest. Not too many in the mountain states. They're mostly all gone. Northern Plains, some of them, but the Midwest is where you're going to have to go to get your feeder cattle now here for the next 6 weeks or a couple of months here, and they're going to be basically farmer cattle, because your farmers were harvesting and they got done with that, and then they weaned their calves, and now they're starting to bring them to town. But St. Joe Stockyards, the steers sold $4 to $7 higher, with spots as much as $12 higher. That's called by the Federal State Market News Service. Heifers $6 to $10 higher. Then that's from the last sale they had 2 weeks ago. But just a great sale. Talked to several guys there, and they were telling me that it was really a popping sale there. Included in their run, they had 3 loads, 233 head of 734-pound steers, bring 157.75, and a load weighed 727 and 159.85. Those are impressive quotes. And that's your feeder flash for Thursday.